Good afternoon, guys. Guys, is it audible to everyone? Respond, guys. Respond in chat box. Select online IT Vidya, online trainings, and you can ping the message, guys. In your chat box, select online IT Vidya, online trainings, and then you can send a message, guys. Fine. I repeat, guys. Online IT Vidya, online trainings. Online IT Vidya, online trainings, and you can send a message. Fine. Good. Now, back to our session, guys. So generally observe, guys. Let us take in requirement, guys. Up to now, we did very few basic programs. Right? We did very basic programming, right? Now let us observe, guys. By using advanced Python, what type of applications we can develop? Okay, by using advanced Python, what type of applications we can develop? So how we have to develop those applications? Just have a look, guys. So first, let me start one example with one example. Imagine, guys. Let me take an example of Amazon. Yes, you can take any website, no problem. Amazon, Book My Show, Flipkart, or anything your choice. This is my application called what? Amazon. This is what is my application called Amazon. Right? I have one application. Yes, for Amazon, do we have only one user or multiple users? For Amazon, do we have one customer or multiple customers available for Amazon, guys? Yes, respond in the chat box, guys. You can select online IT Vidya, online trainings, and you can ping the messages. Yes, we have multiple customers, right? So it's not one particular customer. We have multiple customers are available. Very good. What we have is we have multiple customers available. So here I have a customer. This is one customer. This is one customer, right? And now one more customer. This is one more customer. Means the second customer. This is one customer and this is second customer, and I have one more customer. This is our third customer. Right? I'm taking what? 3 customers. For Amazon, what I'm doing is we have 3 customers. Just example purpose, guys. We have a number of customers are available, but I'm taking what? Only 3 customers. Customer 1, what he did? Customer 1, what he did? From you open his system. Observe customer 1, what he did? You open his system. From his browser, he just send a request to Amazon, right? So that he is able to connect with Amazon. So that is able to connect with what? Amazon, right? Customer 1, yes. In the same way, customer 2 also open his browser and is sending request to whom? Amazon. So that is able to connect with whom? Amazon. Customer 3 is also doing the same operation. Yes, here customer 1 or customer 2 or customer 3. Customer 1 or customer 2 or customer 3. Is it mandatory to install Amazon software? Either customer 1 or customer 2 or customer 3, whatever it may be. Is it mandatory to install Amazon software? Everyone, guys, think. Is it mandatory to install Amazon software to communicate with Amazon? Very good. Not at all, right? Yes. So there is no need to install the software, open your browser, you can type Amazon, and directly connect with whom? Your Amazon. And the second user also open the browser and he can connect with what? Browser. Third person also open and connect with what is? Open, then connect with what is? Amazon. Browser, I repeat this. Open your browser. Fine. Open your browser and you can connect with your Amazon. Open your browser, then check this. Open your browser and then what you can do, you can connect with your Amazon and you can communicate. Guys, tell me here how many applications we have. How many applications we have in this example? Everyone. How many applications we have? Yes, I need answer from everyone, guys. Yes, ping me. Here, how many applications we have observed? We have only one application. What is your application? Amazon is your application. Observe, Amazon is your application. How many applications? Only one application. How many users are available? How many users are available? Yes, very good. We have one application with 3 users, right? We have one applications with 3 users, right? In our example, one application with 3 users. If you go for real time, we may have one application with multiple users, right? So in real time, especially if you have a requirement that, if you want to develop one application with multiple users, in that scenario, we have to go for a programming option that is called as object-oriented programming approach. We have to apply what, guys? We have to apply a concept called OOPS concept, guys. We have to apply a concept called what is OOPS concept. OOPS indicates what? Object-oriented programming system. I repeat, guys. OOPS indicates what? Object-oriented programming system. Right? So whenever, guys, whenever requirement comes to you, verify it. What is your requirement? Is it one application with multiple users? That two multiple users have to communicate at a time? Repeat. So multiple users, in case multiple users want to communicate at a time, in that scenario, better to choose what, guys? Object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language. I mean, your OOPS concept, you know, to apply what? OOPS concept. So, in advanced Python level, what we are going to do is, we are going to see what? Object-oriented programming system. Fine. Shruti, once check your side. Guys, is it audible to everyone? Guys, if the voice is clear, is it audible to everyone? Okay. Then why Shruti? Just a minute. Shruti, once check. Okay, I'll ping the message. You said you are not audible, right? Once check your name. Okay, now object-oriented program system. Now, sir, how to develop this one? Guys, observe in core Python level we use some concept, we did some programming, right? In core Python level, whatever the programs you did, that comes under functional programming, guys. Core Python level, what are the programs we did, that programs comes under what? Functional programming. Functional programming in the sense what? One application, one user. Where one application, one user will communicate. So one more application, one user. That means if you want to use that, compulsory, you have to install that application, you have to use it. Without installation, you cannot use such type of applications. We need functional programming, guys. Guys, like MS Office. I think everyone knows MS Office, right? Guys, is it MS Office? Did you know MS Office software? MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint? So without install MS Office software, is it possible to work MS Word in your system? Everyone guys, without install MS Office software, is it possible to use MS Word? No, right? Compulsory, what I have to do? I have to install the software, then I can use it. Without installation, I cannot use. First, I have to install the software. I repeat, guys. First, what I have to do? I have to install the software, then I can use it. I have to install the software, then I can use it. Without installation, I cannot use it, right? Without installation, I cannot use it. For that purpose, we have to use a programming approach called functional programming, which we discussed in core Python level, right? But if you go to real time, now observe, guys. Now observe, yeah. So, but once if you go to software company, I repeat, yes, if you go to software company, right now, whatever the applications we are getting, all the applications are developed by using object-oriented programming. That's why in interview also, they are focusing on what is your object-oriented programming mode. So we have to learn advanced Python concept. Then only we can put in Python in our resume. Without advanced Python, we can put into our resume, guys. Compulsory, we have to, if you want to put Python in your resume, you should be good in Python, complete Python, especially in object-oriented programming. Fine? Yes. Now, let us observe here. What in object-oriented programming, what we are going to do in the sense. What is object-oriented programming? In the sense, observe. Guys, OOPS is what? OOPS is a mechanism. I repeat, guys. OOPS means what? OOPS is a mechanism to write programs using class and object, guys. OOPS is a mechanism. I repeat, OOPS is a mechanism to write programs using what? Class and object. By using class and by using object, we can do the programming. That is nothing but what, guys? Your OOPS concept. So in OOPS, generally what happened is, yes, as far as object-oriented analysis and design, observe, we have 4 principles in OOPS. As far as what? Object oriented analysis and design. Guys, I think those who are belongs to IT background. Those who are belongs to IT background, those people will know that one, guys. OAD subject. OAD, object oriented analysis and design. Object oriented analysis and design. So those people, I mean, you know very well this subject. BTech or MC or MTech, it's available, guys. As far as the subject, we have only 4 principles, guys. We have only what? 4 principles. What are the 4 principles we have? The first one is called as what? Abstraction. The second one is called as what? Encapsulation. Third one is called as what? Inheritance. And fourth one is called as what? Polymorphism. Total, how many principles we have? 4 principles. Guys, remember here the order is very important, guys. Repeat, guys. Here the order is very important. First, we have to go for abstraction, then encapsulation, then inheritance, then polymorphism. The order is very important. In interview, guys, this question will come in interview also, guys. They will ask, what are the principles of OOPS? What are the principles of OOPS? Very simple question, right? You said there 4 answers. So maybe you said like this: encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction. S4 comes. Then he asked 2 or 3 other questions. He said, okay, you can leave today. You come outside and you feel that what? Yes, I did answers very well. And you are expecting a call from the company, right? But the call never comes. And you pulled the HR. He asked the question. I gave correct answer, but he doesn't select me. Right? The reason is what here? The reason is what here? You gave the answer, but not in the proper order. You gave the answer, but not in the proper order. That is the problem. So especially these 4 principles order wise are because whenever requirements comes from the client, first we have to apply abstraction. Once you apply abstraction, then we can go for encapsulation. Once encapsulation is done, then we can go for inheritance. Once inheritance is done, then only we can go for polymorphism. The order is available, guys. Without abstraction, you cannot apply encapsulation. Without abstraction, I repeat, guys, without abstraction, you cannot apply for what? Encapsulation. Right? Without encapsulation, you cannot apply for what? Inheritance. Without inheritance, you cannot go for what? Polymorphism. That's why the order is very important. The order is very important. Remember, guys, order. So we discussed this. Not only the definition, I will take some project requirement. So with the project requirement, we are going to apply this abstraction on the requirement, encapsulation on the requirement. Each and everything will apply on the requirement, and we will do it, guys. Don't worry. Fine. So, but remember this here. What we said? We said 4 principles are available, right? Very good. 4 principles are available. So these 4 are called as what? OOPS principles. These 4 are called as what? OOPS principles. Guys, these principles are introduced initially, guys. If any programming language, observe the point. In case any programming language, I repeat, any programming language follows these 4 principles. What are the 4 principles? Abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. If any programming language follows these 4 principles, follows what? These 4 principles, then it is called as what? Object-oriented programming language. I repeat once again, guys. Any Any programming language, if it follows these four principles, abstraction and inheritance, polymorphism. If it follows these four principles, then it is called as what is object-oriented programming language. It may be in Java, it may be in .NET, it may be in Python. Tomorrow, any new other language will come, called as an ABC. Tomorrow, a new language called as what? ABC language entered into the market. Whatever the language it may be, whatever thing it may be, if it follows these four principles, no doubt at all, what we'll say, it is called as object-oriented programming language. Guys, the OOPS is different. OOPS is different. What is OOPS? Object-oriented programming system. That is OOPS. OOPL is different. What is OOPL? Object-oriented programming language. Before programming languages, OOPS are introduced. Before programming language, OOPS are introduced. The theoretical concepts introduced in a subject called OOAD. So programming languages person, what they have observed, they follow these principles of OOPS and they developed a programming language. Then onwards we'll call as what? Object programming language. Don't mix, guys, okay? Don't mix both. Now, if you want to understand these object-oriented programming languages like abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymer, whatever the concept may be, if you understand this concept, first you should have a strong knowledge on what is. First, you should have a strong knowledge on what? Variables and methods. So, what is a variable and what is a method? These are two things you should have idea, guys. I think you already know what is a variable, right? And what is a variable, right? What is a variable? A variable is nothing but a named memory location. A variable is nothing but what? Named memory location, which is used to store what? Data. Which is used to store what? Data. A variable is nothing but named memory location. Named memory location, which is used to store data. Which is used to store what? Data. Fine. And coming to next one, what? Method. Yes, observe. In core Python level, we'll call it as a function, right? Core Python level, we'll call as a function, right? Same thing here, we'll call as a method. In an object-oriented programming scenario, we have to call as a method. The terminology change, nothing else. The terminology will change. Fine. So why? What is methods are? What is the difference between function method? I will discuss later. Until unless observe in advanced Python level. In advanced Python level, remember we have to call method instead of function. We have to call what? Method instead of function. Why? The reason I will explain, guys. Don't worry. Observe what is a method. Here and check what is a method. A method is a collection of statements. Method is what? A method is a collection of statements which performs specific operations. A method is a collection of statements which perform specific operations. So what say function also, method also what? It is contain a set of statement, collection of statement. What is the purpose? Which perform specific operation on where? On variables. So what is the purpose of method is? Method perform specific operation on variables. Method contains set of statements which perform specific operation on whom? Variables. So remember that point, guys. Remember that point. Fine. Variable method. two things, very important. If you want to understand your advanced Python concept, you should understand what variable and method concept clearly. Variable and method concept clearly. Fine. For example, let me open one website, please. Let me open one website. This is one website I opened, guys. Okay, or else you can go for Redbus. I opened what is Redbus. This is one website which I opened. Yes, you will observe this is one website. Now, here we have to understand what is a variable, what is a method. What is a variable, what is a method. So, variable, what it will do? Variable will store data. Remember this. Variable will store data. What method will do? Method will perform operations on what? Operations on data. Variable will store the data. Method will perform operations on data. Right? I repeat once again, guys. Variable will store data. Variable will store data. Methods perform operations on data. Let me give a small example. For example, data called student ID. A student ID is a variable or method. Student ID, is it a variable or method? Yes, everyone, guys, think. Student ID, is it a variable or method? Because what we are going to do here, we are writing, what is your student ID? You said 101, 102, sir. That means we are going to store the value, right? Student ID 1001, sir. That means one value you are going to store into this name. So student ID is called as what? Variable, because it stores data. Because it stores data. Okay. I'm writing. Employee's salary. What about employee's salary, guys? Is it a variable or method? Employee salary, variable or method? Ask what is your salary? Ask what is your salary? Everyone, think. Everyone think. If I ask what is your salary, what you will say? Sir, my salary is how much? My salary is how much? 25,000 is my salary, right? If I ask what is your salary, what you will say? Sir, my salary is 25,000. Or you said, sir, my salary is what? 50,000. Or my salary is what? Or my salary is what? 1 lakh. Or my salary is what? 1 lakh, right? So what you can say is, if I ask what is your salary, simply you will say that, sir, my salary is 1 lakh, sir, my salary is 50,000, sir, my salary is 70,000. You are saying that, so your salary is something, right? Now, tell me guys, variable or method? What you are doing here? You are storing, some data into a name. Here you are storing some data into a name. That's why here employee salary is called as what? Employee salary is called as what is? Yes, it is called as what? Variable. Now if I ask employee name, now tell me guys, what about employee name? Yes, everyone guys. employee name, variable or a method? Yes, if I ask you what is your name, you will say what? Sir, my name is Divya. Sir, my name is Sirisha. Sir, my name is what? So Shruti. Or my name is what? Mamata. Or my name is what? Sagar. My name is Ravi. Right? You are giving some value, right? Whenever value comes, means you are storing some value. It is called as what? It is called as what? Variable. It is called as what? Variable. I ask you what? How many leaves? How many leaves you have this month? How many leaves you have this month? Now tell me, guys. Leaves, variable or method? Leaves, variable or method? Very good. Leaves is the variable. Because why? If I ask how many leaves in the sense, what is sir? 5 leaves, sir. Sir, 3 leaves, sir. Sir, 1 leaf only. Sir, no leaves, sir. So if I ask how many leaves you have, you'll say what? A number as answer, right? You'll give one number as answer. That's why it is called as what? That's why it is called as what is? Leaves is a variable. Now, based on this, what I will do, I want to calculate leaves amount, guys. Calculate leaves amount. Yes, observe. Calculate leaves amount. Here, what I have to do? I have to take employee salary. I have to take number of leaves. I have to take number of days in that month, and I have to perform the operation rate. Calculate leaves amount in the sense what I have to do. Observe is by seeing the name itself, you should say the answer. Okay. So in calculate leaves amount, what I have to do, I have to perform operation rate. That's why this is called as what? It is called as, everyone guys, it is called as what? Method, because here I have to perform the operation. Here I have to perform the operation. I have to collect the employee salary, collect number of leaves, collect number of days, and I have to perform the operation. Then I have to display, calculate leaves amount. Then I have to display what? Calculate leaves amount, right? In the same way, I have to calculate salary, final salary. Calculate final salary. Now tell me guys, calculate final salary is a variable or method? Calculate final salary is a variable or method? Very good. It is what? It is a method because final salary, you have to perform some operation. What do you have to do? You have to perform some operation, right? That's why it is called as what? Method. In the same way, I just want to display all employee information. Display. What I have to display? All employee information. I have to collect employee ID, I have to collect employee name, I have to collect the department, and I have to display all the details. So display is a variable or method. Everyone. Guys, this is very, very important if you want to develop applications. If you want to develop, guys, I won't discuss what, just one definition, then I won't move on to the next one. Because tomorrow, if you go to the company, you should be in a position to analyze what type of data they are giving, what you have to do, right? That's why I'm explaining all these points, guys. Otherwise, simply I will give one definition for variable, one definition for method, and I will move on. But it is not helpful to you in your real time. That's why I'm explaining point to point, focus everyone. Very good. It is a method. Now, I have to travel. I want to book a ticket. I want to book a ticket. So what I am doing is, yes, they are asking from place. If you want to travel, so at the time of counter, they will ask, right? I mean, at the time of booking ticket, they're asking from place. Tell me, guys, from place is a variable or method? Yes, yes, good, good. If I ask what is your from place, what you will say? Sir, my from place is Bangalore. Sir, my from place is Mumbai. Sir, my from place is okay, Pune. You are giving a data, right? You are not collecting any data, you are not doing any operation here. You are just giving a data stored into from place. And in the same way, I am asking what? To place. In the same way, I am asking what to place. What about to place case? Variable or method? Variable. It is a variable. It is a variable. Very good. Date of journey. Date of journey. Date of journey. Very good. It is also called as a variable. Guys, tomorrow, whenever you are going to develop application, you have to analyze what are the variables, what are the methods, then what I have to do. Everything you have to analyze. Then only you can do the coding. Otherwise, you can't do the coding, right? Now, based on this one, what I have to do, I have to verify the number of buses. I will check the buses, right? Check availability. Check availability. Now check availability is a variable or function. I mean variable or method. Check availability is a variable or and fetch the details and show to you, right? So it is method. Like whenever you observe any application, you should be in a position to identify what are the variables and what are the methods. What are the variables and fine. As part of here, observe from to date such. Everyone observe this here. From to date. From is a variable. To is also variable. Date is a variable. Such buses. What about such buses, guys? What about such buses? It is a very good method. It is what method? Even open for TSRTC. So I have to travel from Bangalore to. I will travel from Bangalore to Hyderabad this Saturday. Check available. It is processing gives the information, right? Processing and gives the information. I have to travel, select seat. So, able to MGBS, show layout. Processing the answer. Processing gives the answer. So, method, select a seat. Let's observe here. Book by name. Name. Its name is variable or method? Your name is variable or method? Yes, yes, everyone guys. Here, name is variable or method? Very good. Name, variable. Mobile number. Mobile number. What is mobile number? Variable or method? Yes. Mobile number is a variable. Email ID. Because you are storing the data. By storing all this data, you are selecting continue option, right? Continue is variable or method. Continue is variable or method. Variable. Continue is a method because here you are performing operation. By giving your data, it performs operation. Your name, book, mobile number, this is my mobile number, email ID, nakenduku@nakenduku.com. Of course, age you cannot give more than 100. Age you cannot give more than, above 99, it is not possible to give. Age I'll enter what? 46. Something. Now observe, click continue. Whenever you select continue, processing and it generated some option, right? Processing and generated what? Some other option. So it is what? Method. Whenever you go for make payment is one method. Make payment is what? One method. Fine. No, I don't want to pay the money, guys. Okay, just for example purpose. Just what is my requirement? I want to verify. That's why I open that one. Okay, I don't want to pay the money. You also, guys, open some websites. You also what you do? Open the website, verify. Oh, this is a method. Oh, this is variable. Okay, good, nice. The website, verify. You can verify. Is it clear for everyone? Difference between variable and method. Is it clear for everyone, guys? Very good, guys. Now, just remember this concept up to here. Remember this concept up to here. Now, what we are going to do? Now I will start. Okay, in companies are getting the projects, right? If you communicate with any of your friends who are working in the companies, just once communicate with your friends who are working in the companies. Those people will say, "Hey, I have client meeting now. I have a client call now." Or else those people will say, "I'm in call. I'm in call." Sometimes if you call to your friend, he will say immediately, "Hey, I'm in call. I have a client meeting now, so I can't talk with you." Sometimes you heard a word called client call, on call. Okay, these are the words you heard, right? So first of all, we should know what is client. How, if you join into company as a Python developer, what is your role in the project? When your role involved in the company, right? These are all things you should know, guys. Then only you are able to work in the company. Otherwise, you can't work in the company. This is the mandate thing. Yes, tomorrow I will discuss those things, guys. First, I will talk with those terminology. Then what I will do? Yes. I will explain. I will take some project requirement and we discuss, right? Some principles, 4 principles. I said, right? These principles I am going to apply on those requirements. Right? That means you will get a real-time concept. Then only you will get a real-time concept. If I give just definition, there is no use at all. Go for outside, everyone what they will do? Side heading definition. What is the use of you? That's right. I will explain with a real-time example, with real-time concepts. So you need you need more attention and more patience because real-time concepts, right? You have to focus, you have to understand. Fine. Guys, everyone, what I have to? Yes. Online IT Vidya online training. That is me, guys. So you just ping me your email ID and contact number. Yes, everyone ping me your email ID and contact number. I will forward the notes as well as recording. Because as I said, what for advanced Python you are going to receive daily recordings as well as notes, right? Select online IT Vidya online training. Select online IT Vidya online training and forward your email ID and contact number. So daily, most probably today's session is done. By end of the day, you are going to receive the notes so that you can cross check. Guys. Fine. Yes, everyone, guys. Ping me your email ID and contact number. Ping me your email ID as well as what contact number so that I will forward you guys. Clear for everyone? Good. If you have that's it for today, guys. That's it for today. Okay, again we'll meet tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Fine. So if you have any queries, if you don't have any queries, now you can leave today. If you have any queries, you can ping me, no issues. If you don't have any queries, you can leave today, guys. Yes, Ekta, do you have any questions?